My name is Carlos Venturo. I'm Director of School Programming here at ODC. And it is my pleasure to welcome this wonderful community that comes together tonight to celebrate the life of Lauren Ryan. Lauren was a constant presence here at ODC. I found out that she joined us for her first class in 2017. And she took a number of classes that amasses to more than 200 hours. She actually took 171 classes here at ODC in this same studio with her teacher, Micaiah, and Pat Lamb, good friend as well, and other teachers who came as subs throughout the years to be part of this community and form this community of the hip-hop class with Micaiah. It's wonderful, I think, for me to see. I've never seen the studio used in this way. And I think it gives a perspective of the dancers being in front of their teacher with the mirror behind, learning steps and coming up in the style and learning the steps and kind of being little by little part of this wonderful community. So let's celebrate Lauren. Welcome to ODC. And we have Lily here who is going to be our MC.
Thank you, Carlos. And again, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. For those of you who don't know, I'm Lily. I tried to find words to summarize 14 years of beautiful friendship to show you what Lauren meant to me and try to weave a thread through our time together that you could grasp and find solidarity and solstice in. So listen. I think I could have done better. But to be honest, I had a hard time writing this at all, mostly because I was sad and mad that I had to be doing it. I didn't plan on having to write this and do this talk for at least another 50 years. So as I was trying to find the right words to say, to express how I feel, how we're all feeling, as we try to make some sort of sense of this, I just kept thinking, Lauren would do such a better job at this than I'm going to. Lauren and I have a lot in common, but in the way that Oreo cookies and Hydrox cookies have a lot in common. They're both cream-filled cookies, both tasty, but one is just a smidge better. It's the real thing. Lauren was the Oreo, the real thing, and I'm the Hydrox, and I am very okay with that. I liked having a best friend who was better than I was. It always made me feel like she would know what to do, that she could handle any situation. I mean, not a situation where she physically needed to find her way to someplace or out of place. She had a horrible sense of direction. But pretty much any other situation. For example, needing to give a speech when your best friend has died tragically. She would know what to do here. But instead, you get the Hydrox version. So, Lauren was kind, selfless, powerful, and oh so bright. I met Lauren in August 2008. On our first day of class in our genetic counseling graduate school program. We connected over our Midwestern roots, the loneliness of being on our own in a new city, and the challenges of graduate school. Over the years, we became more than friends, or even best friends. We became sisters. She was always there for me, and I always tried to be there for her. We graduated together, we job hunted together, in a tough job market, hello 2010. We traveled together, usually for work, but sometimes for fun. We endured the insanity of working at a startup together. She zipped me into my wedding dress on my wedding day. She was one of the first people I told when I was pregnant, before I even told my husband. To be fair, it was very early in the morning, and he was sleeping, and I knew she'd be up, and she'd be excited. She also helped us move to Tahoe in 2020, despite her being very sad that we were moving 3 hours away. She made the trip up to the mountains many times in my daughter's first year to help care for me and for her. When my daughter was just 5 weeks old, Lauren showed up with bags of groceries and stayed for several days feeding us, and of course cleaning up the kitchen after, and holding the baby. We talked. We were also just happy to sit together and soak up that sweet newborn time. Lauren was so good at taking care of others, and over the years she learned how to do that while still taking care of herself. She taught me a lot about setting boundaries and asking for what I wanted, for what I needed. She made everyone she met feel special and heard. I hope I was able to return that feeling to her, if not as good, but at least the Hydrox version. Lauren came to the Bay Area knowing very few people, but look around you. Look at this beautiful community, this beautiful family that she built for herself. We're gonna hear from several members of Lauren's family tonight, both chosen family and biological family. First up, Lauren's husband, Elliot Ryan.
Hello, and good evening. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Elliot Ryan. I was Lauren's partner for 12 years. If I could please ask you to close your eyes for a short minute. Please take a deep breath with your eyes closed and be in this moment. Feel the inhale of your breath and the exhale. Feel your feet on the ground. Feel your arms by your side. Feel yourself standing in space. Ground yourself to the earth. Feel yourself together with everyone else. Feel the presence of others in this room. Feel Lauren's presence in this room. And recall how Lauren made you feel. You may open your eyes. Thank you all for traveling here today to celebrate Lauren. There's over 150 people in attendance, each with their own unique stories, anecdotes, and experiences and memories, all shared with Lauren. We can share tales about her childhood, about St. Louis, of going to college and visiting, about grad school and moving to San Francisco, about genetic counseling and her first career at UCSF, of Lauren caring for countless numbers of patients, stories about her work at Color and growth in her career, and further growth at Grail. We could discuss her hobbies, her dance, her performances, her love of dogs and babies, family and friends. time won't allow for all the accounts to be presented. And really, no brief narrative will do justice to the tremendous force that Lauren was. But what we can all remark on today, independent of content, is the way Lauren made us feel. Lauren and I both shared a love of analysis. We would scrutinize our own lives, the lives of others, the world, the universe, in exhaustive detail. We sought to maximize our experience in this life by hacking the peak-end rule. The peak-end rule is a psychological heuristic in which people evaluate an experience based on how they felt at its peak, the most intense point, and how they felt at its end. We'll begin the experience with the peak. Lauren's friend Eric from dance once asked me what Lauren was like at home. There was one word that came to mind, and I replied with, conversational. The most intense part of my experience with Lauren is the conversation. Throughout all of our adventures, our travels to Hawaii and India, and Hawaii and England, and Hawaii and Australia, and Hawaii again. The best part was conversing with Lauren. It didn't matter where we were. We had dialogue. So the peak experience was not some foreign travel, but rather a routine occurrence, summed up as follows. After a long week of work, both of us exhausted, Lauren and I would convene and head out to the high streets of Glen Park. We'd go to our local pub, Glen Park Station, and order 2 vodka sodas. We'd sit and chat and reflect on our experiences of the day, of the week, of our life, of other people's lives, of news, politics, philosophy, psychology, of engineering and genetics, navigating the world. We discussed the past, the future, living in the present. From theoretical situations that would never arise to practical solutions to our problems. Our thoughts, our dreams, our desires, our emotions. And in these conversations, Lauren heard you. You felt heard by Lauren. She saw you. You were seen by Lauren. Lauren met you. We would listen to each other, and then we'd order 2 more vodka sodas. Following the deep conversation and a couple of rounds at the pub, we'd head next door to La Corneta and order 2 burritos. While standing in line at the bustling counter, before having even consumed any food, you felt fulfilled, being in Lauren's presence. Following dinner, and settle in at home, perhaps watch a movie. You felt relaxed, Lauren. You felt comfort. You felt her being. Through the simple occurrences, you felt Lauren's essence. And that was peak Lauren experience. The end experience was the day before the accident. We met up at Lauren's apartment, like we did every week. Lauren had cramps and wanted Chipotle for dinner. I remarked to Lauren, you can't just alleviate cramps with more cramps. Nevertheless, we headed out to pick up 2 burritos in keeping with our dinner theme. We discussed past stories while in the car. We caught up on the current events of our lives while waiting in line for our order. postulated on the future when we got out. We shared stories of work, and travels, and the intimate lives of friends. And once again, Lauren heard you. You felt heard by Lauren. She saw you. You were seen by Lauren. Lauren met you. When the night came to a close, we hugged each other and said, "I love you," for the last time. In evaluating the total experience with Lauren, recalling these peak and end experiences, the fundamental quality that shines through is one of love. Lauren made you feel loved in the way she interacted with you. With kindness and compassion, she would so thoughtfully listen, and she would reflect with such wisdom. The external world would follow her. You would feel comfort and at ease, and you could be in the moment, knowing, feeling, Lauren truly understood you. One last conversation I'll share is that of an experiment Lauren and I contemplated a couple of years ago during the pandemic. Lauren and I once performed a funeral visualization exercise. We discussed our preferences for the day of our memorials, what we'd like served, what music we'd like to play. But most importantly, we discussed who would be at our memorials and what people would have to say. All of you showing up today exceeds Lauren's vision. She would be so proud and thankful for all the friends and family in her life, for all those with whom she shared experiences, and for all the lives she impacted. And she would want to know how she made you feel. So please, raise a glass.
Celebrate those feelings of Lauren's wisdom and brilliance. Drink to the memories, the experiences, the time together. Cherish those thoughts. Remember and feel Lauren's kindness and compassion and love. Talah.
Thank you, Elliot, for that beautiful remembrance. Am I going to regret wearing eye makeup? Yes I am. Next up, Lauren's friend from high school, Jessica Whitty.
Hi everybody. For all of you in the door who are proud and want to come in, I'll give you a second. There's plenty of space. Okay, hi, my name's Jessica Whitty, and Lauren was my best friend for more than 20 years. She was my emergency contact, my most trusted person, and I'd love to tell you some about her and about that big friendship that we had. Lauren and I met in the 10th grade when her family moved back to Missouri, and we were kindred spirits right away. This was during Lauren's goth Hot Topic phase, which that means that none of y'all knew that existed, and I'm really glad I got to tell you. She is in our 10th grade yearbook as the girl with the skull backpack. So, you know, it was only 10th grade though she was in a new phase by 11th grade. So she was Lauren even then when we were teenagers and kids. She was always taking care of other people, making sure everybody was okay, especially our less responsible friends like you have when you're 15 and 16. So she was always everybody's mom. We both already at that point had the weak ankles. I'm in an ankle brace right now, so I have that in common with Lauren, and I'm sure that all of you are familiar with the saga of Lauren's ankles that started when we were that young. We both loved French class. We had a long relationship with our French teacher. We both kept in touch with our high school French teacher even to this day. So Lauren was a superstar in French class. She was, of course, the #1 science student in our grade, which you would all expect. And she loved working at Chevy's, which is a Mexican restaurant for a very long time, and maybe she's made some of you go. I understand there's one somewhere in the Bay in some remote location that she's probably made some of you go to try and sell you on the chips and salsa available at this fine chain restaurant, Midwestern Mexican food establishment that she loved very much. It was a really special place. And we were valedictorian and salutatorian of our high school class, so we spoke at our graduation. Oh, what a delayed recognition for that. Yeah, very much nerd alert. And Lauren, of course, gave a very sweet, inspiring speech at our graduation, and I gave something like what I'm doing right now, which is like a struggling stand-up comic routine. So that was our high school graduation, her being very heartfelt and inspiring and earnest, and her just wonderful self radiating out at 18 from right then, and I was just a big goof, which is what I still am now. And then we were off to college together. We went to college together at the University of Missouri, or Mizzou, our beloved alma mater. And we spent those years, like building our communities and exploring our separate interests, but also still being very tethered together, which was really very special for us. My pages were stuck. And of course, she was also a superstar at Mizzou. Now on a much bigger platform than at our little high school. Now we're in the big pond with 35,000 students, but she was, of course, a superstar there too. We were both RAs in the dorms, and Lauren loved that. She loved supervising students. She loved her coworkers. Of course she did. She started a community service project when we were in college that helped senior citizens weatherize their homes. Have you heard of a more Lauren Ryan thing than to start a community service project to help senior citizens weatherize their homes? Just nothing more Lauren than that. She was selected for a secret society in college. If you went to a college that has those, then you know that's like Beyonce comes from the Illuminati and brings you in. That was the experience that Lauren had. She was that special in college. We were working hard and playing very hard in college. And then Lauren graduated a semester early so that she could go back and work at Chevy's and save money so that she could move to California in 2008. So that's what she did. And then after I graduated, we were on opposite coasts. I moved to New York and she was here. But we were still supporting each other at that crucial time of life when you're a young adult and need your friends and the big milestones of young adulthood. A time when it was really, really valuable to have a friend that really understood what you came from, but also really understood where you were going. And Lauren was just always that person for me, and I hope I was that person for her. I came to visit when she was living in Oakland when I was looking at law schools, and she almost convinced me that I picked the wrong coast, so y'all almost ended up with me, but you didn't. Stuck together again. So I expect that that's where many of you know Lauren, like from here on, you knew her California life. She was here for 15 years. She built this beautiful community of people who loved her very much, and she had this extremely meaningful, impactful career that I was so proud of her for, and I'm sure everybody here was also so proud of the big impact she was having. In the more recent years of her and I's adult life, we were able to visit each other more and travel more as we both got more sort of career and financial security. We were able to do those kind of things, so that was always really wonderful. And I was always super happy that her job at Grail would sometimes send her for work reasons to Austin, Texas, which is where I live now. So I would get long weekends with Lauren in my house on Grail's dime, which was great. And we could just lounge around my house with my animals and talk, just like Elliot said. That was the best thing about Lauren, was we could just talk for hours until our throat hurt, and it was the best to just be there with Lauren. She spent a couple weeks at my house with me this last fall. I had to have a big surgery, went through some medical stuff, and I needed help. And that kind of thing has been really vulnerable and challenging for me. And Lauren was the only person I could imagine that I would let witness the hardest part of that. And she just did it with so much love. Sorry. I mean, you know how she did it. And she did all the hard things, showering me, putting me in bed, dealing with my draining body fluids, and also things like cutting fruit into pretty shapes and making like a pretty fruit plate for us to snack on, and like snuggling my dog and cat extra for me because I couldn't. She valiantly took up the job of letting the dog and cat sleep in the bed with her because they couldn't sleep with me. And they were all very pleased with that, the three of them. I was alone in the other room, and they were just having the best snuggle party in the other room. So then when it was time for her to leave and she's getting ready to go to the airport, I just burst into tears, kind of like I did just now. And I was just so overwhelmed with love and gratitude for what she had been doing for me at that really hard time in my life. And before she left, she just held me real tight in that big Lauren hug, that real good bear grip that she would give you. And she told me that she knew that I loved her, she knew that I was grateful, she loved me too, and we'd have plenty of time to keep talking about our feelings, because that's what we were good at doing. And I thought we would have so much more time to keep talking about our feelings. We had so many big plans together. We were set to be in Mexico together for Christmas. We were getting our 20-year bestie anniversary tattoos in January, which I got. And I just, on and on from there. I pictured our lives being really long and together, just like Lily said. Eventually we would be two old ladies, still just chatting through lots more of Lauren's favorite holiday, her birthday, lots more seasons of the White Lotus to talk about. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to how I feel of right now. Lauren feels like a phantom limb in my life. I'm reaching something I want to tell her or something I want to ask her. And you just keep feeling that instinct to want to reach out to her. It was really just a 1 in a million friendship that I got with her for more than 20 years. And I know that lots of people live long, happy lives, and they never have a friendship that's deep and that beautiful, like what Lauren and I had. So it was such a gift she was such a gift in my life. I'm not Jewish, but something that someone close to me has given me as a comfort in this hard time has been the concept of Dayenu from the Passover song, which means it would have been enough. In the Passover song, you say it over and over. It would have been enough. It would have been enough. It would have been enough. Getting to love and be loved by Lauren for even 1 second was really special, and it would have been enough. And I got so much from our friendship. I carry so much of her with me right now. I'm a better friend to the important people in my life when I think about her. And her kindness, her generosity, her patience with people. I'm a better friend of myself when I think about her. Her example of self-compassion, her inner knowing, her steadfastness. I miss her every single day. Her memory, her example will continue to impact me. Grief is still there every day, but I'm just really, really grateful for Lauren's life. She was just the best. That's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Jessica. She really was the best. And if you are looking for a Chevy's, I think there is still one over in Emeryville. Daily City. Check it out. So, as obviously we're here in Lauren's dance studio, many of you know that she loved to dance, and her dance family has prepared a short performance tonight, so I'd like to welcome Patricia Lamb and company. You know, I danced in front of like 1,000 people, but I never thought I would speak in front of 150, and that's actually a little bit more terrifying, so bear with me. Like Lily said, my name is Patricia, or Patty, and I was in Lauren's close circle in her dance community. And just going off script of my little speech, I wanted to say we were here in the studio twice a week, and I realized at 4 o'clock this morning that every single Thursday evenings, she would put her bags over there, and she would dance right here. And then every Saturdays at 12 o'clock in your class, Mother, she would put her stuff over here, and then she would dance over here. And I never realized that until she told me that this morning. So I wanted just to give you a piece of that because it's so personal for me, for our dance community. So I just wanted you guys to really exist in this space, and I want to thank you for existing in this space. So here's my love letter to Lauren. In the short amount of the 5 years that we've known one another, we talked every single day, whether it was over the phone or via text. And then, on top of that, we saw each other at least 5 times a week. And in those 5 years, I had completely fallen in love with your generosity, your passion, your pizzazz, all the way down to your gold shoes. You were one of my best friends, my sister, my mentor. You were actually my biggest fan and had the utmost substance. So thank you. And I never realized it until now, but I did actually love you like I was going to lose you. I'm gonna run that back. I actually did love you like I was going to lose you. But you are so very much alive in my heart and in all of us. So here is my love. Actually, no. Here is our love. Because I would like to present a duet that I created for you and me, because it has been long overdue. And despite everything that everything has been going, dance is actually all I know and all I can offer to you at this moment. So everyone, please enjoy.
I found myself dreaming in silver and gold, like a scene from a movie that every broken heart knows. We were walking on moonlight, and you pulled me close,
power. Your sass. Your love. Your heart. Your glow.
A genie.
Your wisdom.
The strength.
Her warmth.
Heaven's all my favorite people. 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 I wanna go there. I wanna go there and do a show there. I wanna go there. I wanna go. Wanna go. Wanna go. Wanna go. Wanna go. Wanna go. Angels watching over me. Angels. I was blind, now I can see. Thank you. Everything you did for me. Angels. Know you come eventually. Thank you. Heaven's all my favorite people. 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 I wanna go there. I wanna go there and do a show there. I wanna go there. I wanna go. 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 Open up those heaven gates. Angels. I just wanna see your face. Thank you. Promise that you'll save a place. Angels. Thank you, God, amazing grace. Thank you. Heaven's all my favorite people. 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 I wanna go there. I wanna go there and do a show there. I wanna go there. I wanna go. Wanna go. Wanna go. Wanna go. Wanna go. Wanna go. Wanna go.
My crown to you. Thank you.
Lauren, we love you. On behalf of the dance community, every time we dance, you're gonna live with us. You're gonna live inside of us. But we know that you want these kids to dance. And we know you want us to have some fun. So this is for you. Go.
Fun.
it moves like dumbbells. All this sound, all this especially hill of the rhythm. But I wanna keep on flowing, blow with electric guys. You get to the top, baby, you don't realize. Maybe you'll see the functionality. Maybe you'll see that rhythm is a heat. Can't get through the way, can't think quick. Niggas don't wanna sleep when I hear from you. Can't pop like that, follow the shoot, baby, just sing about the rules.
Wow, Patty. Wow, Patty, thank you. And you, Micaiah, that was really excellent. She would have loved it. Next up, last but not least, Lauren's father, Steve Ryan.
Oh, yeah. Try again.
Hi.
Those words turns to a tone. Hello, I'm Steve, Lauren's dad, and I'm just amazed at the amount of people touched. She was just special, period. When she was little, she was smarter than me. She always knew how to outsmart me. I got to spend 2 years after she was born taking care of her day by day. Taking her to daycare, running late to daycare, getting in trouble for running late. I saw her through many of the childhood sicknesses, colic, and all that. She was a trooper. When she was like a toddler, I'd take her, my wife and I, Shirley, her stepmother, she called Mom, would take her to the river on the Mississippi. We had a cruiser type boat, and we put her little life jacket on her, and we'd go to this cove area where the water was only like this deep, very little current. We tie a rope to her life jacket, let her float out a little bit, pull her back in, giggle and laugh. You wouldn't believe it. She loved it. Then I had to take her home to her mother. Got in trouble for her being a little pink. One of the things she always complained about when she got older, that she didn't have my height, didn't have my skin color. But she was perfect in my house. And another story I can tell you, which I probably could relate to, this would be Lauren, but when she was about 4 or 5, we took her to get a birthday card for her mother. And my wife looked at me and she goes, "Does she have to read every one?" That's what she likes. try to buy her dolls, and then she'd look at me and she goes, Dad, I want books. So I finally gave up with the doll stuff. I don't know whatever happened to dolls, but you know, if she ever played with them or not. But after she was about 12 years old, I kind of lost touch with her because her mother moved her away from me. And thank God, she found me, and I didn't realize it, but for about a year, she was living just down the road from me. But nobody told me. But I got to go to her graduation in high school and see her do her valedictorian speech, and I was never so impressed in all my life. And I come to find out that her mother was ill for a while, and through high school, she was working at Chevy's, and but she was working a lot to help her mother pay the bills, and then still become a valedictorian. So that was my little girl. She just, you know, and then Mizzou, I got some stories about moving her from into and out of her dorms at Mizzou, but she was never ready. She was now. When she was in college, she was never ready. We had to help her pack, and after about 2 years, I had to teach her how to pack, because with books, as many books as that girl had, she put them in one big box. And the one time, I finally convinced her after I went down the stairs with the dolly and the books that we can't do this. It's all the boxes. But, you know, to her, you know, she was packing everything. And God love her, she never had a dorm except for her freshman year that had an elevator. She was always like on the 3rd floor. So thank God I was young then and I had good legs. And I had friends that would help. But, you know, and after college and her moving here, which kind of wish she wouldn't have, but I know why she, you know, I understand she loved this place so much. It was one of the very few colleges that did genetic counseling, so, which was her passion, as you all know. But after that, she started taking care of me, making sure I was okay. I'd get my weekly call, you doing okay? Do you need anything? You know, we talk, you know. A lot of times it was when she was on her way to see you, or, you know, whoever, you know, and we talked, and she'd tell me something she bought for, you know, herself and everything, and I said, well, you know, I was kind of thinking about doing that. Well, next thing you know, it'd show up at my house, because she took care of everybody. I just want to thank all of you for taking care of her too. And I love you. I miss you. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve, for sharing the beautiful memories of Lauren as a child. Before we wrap up, I wanted to invite mine and Lauren's friend, genetic counseling colleague, Rachel, up here to share a few quick words about the Lauren Ryan Genetic Counselor Access Memorial Award that she's worked very hard to put together.
Thanks all. You probably saw the flyers or the post today, so I just wanted to provide a little bit more context to those who might have questions. As of course many of you know, Lauren's professional work was focused on supporting, and I quote her, any and all initiatives that would build a more diverse and inclusive community and increase equitable access to genetic counseling services. And those are her own words in her application to be a board member of the National Society of Genetic Counselors. That's our national body, not a local, but a national organization. It's just to kind of show you the drive that she has within the field. She was elected and was slated to serve on the 2023 board. To honor Lauren's goals of equity and inclusion, we have worked over the last few months to develop an endowment in her name. And we are pleased to announce that the endowment will be housed under this national organization's nonprofit foundation. The goal of the endowment is to provide multiple annual scholarships to current and prospective genetic counseling students, specifically to those students who are underrepresented in our field. The positive impact of providing financial support is a tribute, of course, to Lauren's work in equity and access. That feels in this space like a given. Of course, she had positive impact on all of us. However, the endowment also strives to honor the future impact that we all know she would have made. The future student mentees whom she would have taken to lunch on her own dime and made them feel supported in our community. The future students or early career genetic counselors to whom she would have given hours of her own time and expertise. The future NSGC board position she might have held, or the future team she would have managed in the pursuit of excellent patient care. We mourn that future loss in our community, but hope that the scholarships from this endowment can make the future a bit easier for those student recipients. Lauren admired the field of genetic counseling, but she was also committed to its growth and improvement. We ask you all to also commit to this growth and to Lauren's legacy by donating to the endowment. The hope is that we can raise a large enough amount so that the scholarship can be made annually and essentially forever. Any type of donation, no matter how big or small, is a meaningful tribute to Lauren. And as an extra kind of pitch, if you work for a company who might also feel like that works with their own targets and goals in the community, absolutely reach out to us. We would really love to make this a big, amazing endeavor for future students and to really honor Lauren. So more information on the flyer and a link to make a pledge yourself or contact us if you know of any companies also who are interested. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rachel. I really appreciate all the work you and others have done to get this award up and running so quickly. It's been really amazing to see. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us here tonight to celebrate Lauren's life. I know we all agree that it was much too short, and I know, like all of you, I'm going to carry this loss with me for the rest of my life. I am so grateful for the community that Lauren has created so we can all be here for each other. We have this studio here and the Argyle across the hall, as well as this majority of the upstairs hallway space until 8:30. So please grab some of Lauren's favorite snacks and a drink, find someone to hug, share your favorite Lauren story, and again, thank you so much for coming tonight.
Thank you.